Good morning, crafty friends. Good morning. Welcome to my craft room. My name is Daryl Walter of Pickle Peppers Creative Cafe at picklepepperscreative.com. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I am here with you in my craft room on Sunday morning. Today is September 21st, 2025, and I'm here to create with you. So I have a quick, cute card that I'm going to make for you. Normally, I am here on Saturday around the same time to create with you. Today is Sunday. I had a fun date with friends yesterday to go crafting. So here we are today, and I am crafting with you. So welcome. Come on into my craft room. We're not going to spend a lot of time chit-chatting. We're going to get right to it. So let's see. How are you? How are you? How is your week going? We are at the end/beginning, the end of the weekend, beginning of the week. How was your week? How are you feeling? Are you feeling crafty at all? Hopefully, yes. Also, since it is still kind of early, okay, it's brunch time, but still kind of early, hopefully you have your cup of coffee or whatever your beverage of choice is going along with your morning, or helping you to go along with your morning. So I'm thankful that you're here sharing your time with me. I appreciate it. I don't take it for granted. Don't forget to give a thumbs up if you like what we're doing today, or definitely chat with me in the comments below. Excuse me. And I will chat back with you because I love chatting with you. And I love talking about beautiful products and cute projects. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump to it. Today we are going to be using, I have a new Stampin' Die, new-ish Stampin' Die set, and it's really popular. It's kind of simple. I like it for that reason, but it's really popular, and it has sold out and come back a couple of times. I finally got my hands on it. Oh, here we go. I stuck it in there backwards. So we are still backwards. I haven't found a go-around, so you're backwards here. I apologize for that, but everything else will be the same, I promise. But it's called Just a Note. It is a stamp and die set. So there are dies that you can use, and when we look at the dies, they are, you see what we got going there. So we have a note. So hence just a note, right? And then there are some little office pieces or paper supply pieces. So this is a binder punch. There is the little clip for the binder punch. Paper clips, a heart-shaped clip, some banner flags, and then I don't know what kind of clip you call this. A note board clip, maybe? Something like that. Anyways, and then there's a little heart. So some fun things there, arrow stars. And then in the stamp set, there are just a couple of sentiments. There are 4 actually. So you got this, you've got this, best ever, just to know, and happy back to school. Those are the sentiments here. I think we're going to use just a note because, yeah, I like that. And then there's a plus sign and a star that goes along. And then we have lined lines or ruled so that we can make our note a ruled piece of paper. And we're going to do that too. Actually, I didn't pick out any ink colors. Let me see. We're going to need ink colors today too. They're not on my desk, so they're right behind me. I think we're going to be using probably black Memento and Lost Lagoon. Let me grab those. Lost Lagoon. Here's black Memento. Here is Lost Lagoon. Let's see. Are there any colors that we may want? No, I think we'll go along with this. Let's see. Yeah, this will be it for now. Let's open this, our black Memento. It's tuxedo black. This is new. I have one in every bag that I use. So I think my others are in various bags. I know one is in yesterday's bag. I went to a scrapbooking store with my friends, and they had a fundraiser day, so we sat and created together and chit-chatted and ate, and it was really fun. It was nice. All right, so just a note, this is what we're going to be using, the bundle. It's a stamp die bundle again, so it is 10% off because they're bundled together. And like I said, that's a really popular bundle. And then we have our inks that we brought out again, the Lost Lagoon and the Black Memento. And then in terms of designer series paper, we are going to be using Floral Charm. That's what this is called. It's a Floral Charm 12 by 12. Let's take a little bit of peep at what we have here in terms of patterns. Let's do it like this. So here's the first pattern. Oh, there's the back. So that's Pretty Peacock, it looks like, in Lost Lagoon. Very nice. And then, oh, look, I wonder if that's Bubble Bath in there. And Fresh Freesia, maybe. Nice, isn't that lovely? And maybe the leaves are pecan pie. I like that. I like that piece a lot. I could have gone another way with the card. And then here's some twigs, various colors there. And let's see, the back of it is not sure. That's not Melon Mambo. Oh, it might be oh, the Newton color. Ooh, so more of that. Peach pie, very nice. I'm loving the colors here. All flowers, of course. There's some mossy meadow behind. I did choose this piece, so this is what we're going to be working with. Oh no, I'm sorry. One more down. This is the one we've chosen. And so here's this one. Some Pretty Peacock in there. I'm loving it. And the Blackberry Bliss on the back of this one. So again, the designer series paper is Floral Charm. That's what that's called. It's 12 by 12. Very pretty. I like it. Okay, I'm just going to set it aside. I don't think we'll need it again, but just in case. And then I have a piece of Lost Lagoon that we're going to be working with. Here's our designer series paper. Again, it's the one with the Blackberry Bliss. Our card base, we're going to use Blackberry Bliss. You guys, look at these colors. Oh my gosh. Even if we threw, let's see, Pretty Peacock in there. Oh my gosh, isn't that delicious? Delicious. And then I have two different grays. I have the basic gray. Let's make sure I'm telling you the right grays. This is a lighter. Oh, so that's the basic gray. And the dark is probably smoky slate. No, basic gray. Oh, that's basic beige. Let's see, the other is, oh, it is, it's smoky slate. So the lighter of the two is smoky slate and basic gray. And I think we're gonna make maybe a clip or something. So that's what that is for. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with, I'll bring in my Stampin' trimmer. If you don't have one, you need one. You will use it all the time. I have other trimmers, true confession. It depends on what I'm cutting and the quantity I'm cutting, why I'm cutting. When I decide which I'm using. However, when I am just sitting at my table, at my desk actually, having crafty time, anytime, probably 90% of the time that I'm cutting, it's with this Stampin' trimmer. It's really lightweight. I love it. I love it. It cuts and scores. It's an amazing tool. Yeah, so you need it. If you don't have one, you need one. All right, so we're going to cut our card base. I'm going to go ahead and do a traditional book fold. It's my go-to. I don't know why. But we're going to cut it with the short end at the top of the trimmer. So your regular piece of cardstock is 8.5 by 11. We have the 8.5 inch side towards the top. And we're actually, I'm going to move that cutting blade down. We're just going to score halfway, which is 4 1/4. Give it a nice score, and what that's going to do is when we cut it, so we're turning around with the long side at the top, we're going to cut it at 5.5. That will give us 2 card bases. Both for now if you're having a crafty day, one for now, one for later if you're not. And then we need to cut our piece of designer series paper. So we're going to cut this mat at 5 by 3 3/4 inches. So this is directional paper. So I want obviously the top of the paper towards the top of the trimmer. I am going to, this is how I conserve paper. I'm going to do the smaller cut because the width we're using is the 3 3/4. I'm going to cut at 3 3/4 inches. And then I'll cut it down to 5. And since I already know I have another card in the wings, I'm going to go ahead and cut 2 of them. One for now and one for the second card that we have. That I will do off camera. Okay, so we have 2 here. And then let's see, I think for now, we're going to have to bring this in a little bit, but I think for now, this is, yeah, I think that's all the cutting. So let's go ahead and put this aside. And then we have our card base. We need a bone folder for that, don't we? Let's grab the bone folder out. Actually, I think we do have a little bit of cutting because we're going to do a little die cutting. Remember that note that we had here. So we're going to do some die cutting with that. And I'm going to cut the paper down for that. Yeah. And maybe, let's see, maybe we'll grab another piece of the Blackberry Bliss, a scrap of it. I think we're going to make that little heart clip. I think we'll do that. That'll be fun. All right, so let's set these aside. Fold our card base. There we go. Give it a nice score, or a burnish, I'm sorry, with the bone folder. There we go. And then our mat is just going to go on the front of the card. I really like the flowers though, so we're going to let those face outwards. We're going to let those show. And you know, let's go ahead, let's pop it into place now. That's one less thing that we have to worry about. Let's make sure, there we go. And up. All right, make sure all of my paper is in the correct orientation. So did you guys do anything fun this week? Did you have a fun day? Oh, it looks like we're running out of adhesive. Hopefully I have some nearby. Hopefully your work was not, or your week was not filled with only work. Work is the necessary thing, but play is just as important. All right. There we go. Let's get this back going. All right, so let's set this aside for a moment and let's cut down our paper. We need a bit of basic white. I'm gonna bring the Stampin' trimmer back in. We need a piece of basic white, and that is going to be for, that's going to be for our note card. Let's see, basic white, we need regular. There we go. And we don't need a whole piece, so I'm gonna cut this in half at 5.5. It looks like a big scrap that we have here. And then I'm gonna cut it down to about 3 3/4 because that is what will comfortably pass through the mini cut and emboss machine. So we need that. And then we need a piece of the Lost Lagoon. So we're gonna cut that down to 3 1/4 inch. I'm not worried about the length, so that will fit through. But the width we have to be careful with in terms of the machine. And what else did we say? We're going to use a little bit of gray. So let's see, do we like the lighter gray or the darker? I feel like the darker will be better. So we'll cut a piece off of the darker gray, and I'm going to cut it in half at 4 1/4 because it's a whole sheet. And I want to conserve, we just need a small piece, but I'll cut it at the 3 3/4 inch. So we're sure that it'll pass through the die cutter. We'll put that aside. And then a piece of Blackberry Bliss. So we have an extra piece here. I'm going to do the same thing. Cut it down to 3 3/4 inch. There we go. So I think those are all the colors that we need for die cutting. So let's bring in that mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And we're going to grab all of our layers here that we're going to die cut with. I'll put them aside. And I do think we're going to need to find a backup for our tape runner. So you may see me fill that if it comes to it. All right, here we go. So let's open the dies. We're going to start by cutting the largest piece. So that piece of note paper, we're going to cut that first, and we're going to cut 2 of them. If you haven't used Stampin' Up's Mini Cut and Emboss machine, when you're die cutting, you have 3 layers. So this layer is the base layer. It's like a shim. I like to refer to it as making grilled cheese or grilled ham and cheese, depending on how many parts. But this is our fry pan. There's also a number 1 there. You see that? It goes in first. And then this is our sandwich, so our bread. All right, so we're gonna cut that paper with the Lost Lagoon and with the basic white. So we'll cut the white one first. And we'll put that on our die cutting machine. And then it just needs that top plate. So we're gonna put that top plate on there. And we're just gonna give it a quick wind. And hopefully it's cooperative. Very nice. And here's our first cut. Isn't that a cute little paper? We're going to add some lines to that in a minute, and hopefully we do good. Normally, and most people would make the lines first and then cut around them so you know the placement. For some reason, I just never do that. I like to see the targeted area and then try to go for it. And I'll admit that's not always the best way to do it, but it's my madness. All right, so we're gonna cut that same notebook paper, or note paper I should say, using the Lost Lagoon. It cut very nicely. Throw the excess away. And then let's put these aside for our card. I love them. So we're gonna cut that little heart. Remember the little heart shape? We're gonna grab that from the dies. Actually, we can put this back into place. But so that heart is like a paper clip heart. We're gonna cut that out, and we're gonna cut that out of Blackberry Bliss. Oh, very sticky. All right, we'll put this right down, kind of in the center. And we'll give this a nice pass through. Very good. Oh gosh, it's cute. So you see how, let's take that right out, that's extra. So you see how it's like a clip, a heart clip. So we'll put that to the side. We'll be using that. And then I feel like we had one, we were gonna use gray. I was gonna make a paper clip. Let's go ahead and make them. We'll make them. I already have, I have the gray aside for, I'm not sure if we're gonna use them, but we have them cut. Oh dear. Maybe we'll go back and cut the banner, the banner flags as well. But right now, let's focus on the paper clips. And there are 2 of them, so I'm expecting when we cut this, we'll get 2 faux paper clips. Let's bring this down a little bit. And then that might be the end of our die cutting. I do have a punch here. It's an oval punch. We're gonna do that, use that for our sentiment, which is gonna kind of be the focal point. But I think we're done die cutting. So let's put that back. So here are the 2 paper clips. Can you see that? We'll just pop them right out. Oh, it's so cute. So it gives you an actual paper clip. I don't want to break it. It's like a real paper clip. Isn't that the cutest? And so we did get 2 of them. You see? We'll put that aside for a little note. And we'll put the other side aside as well. Okay, so we'll save our scraps. We'll not use that banner. We'll not use that at all. All right, so away with the die cutting machine. I think we're done for now. Let's stick it out of the way here. All right, now we need a focal point, and this is extra for next. We need a focal point, and I think that I'm gonna nab, if you were here with me last week, we used the artistic leaves, and I think we'll grab a leaf from that and use it as our focal, because that's what's on my desktop. And so I think that's what we'll use. All right, so we need to stamp our lines here. So we'll need, let's grab a big stamping block. My hand cream. Maybe this one will work. All right, and then I'm just gonna grab, oh boy, that is very inky. Let's clean that off. Grab a diaper wipe and make sure that that's clean, especially stamping on white. I don't want to pick up any extra ink that we don't need. There we go. Much better. All right, give it a moment to dry. And then the stamps here are cling. That means that they're red rubber. and you attach them to your acrylic block. And then there's a guide on the back that you'll apply. And I'm going to show you that a little bit because we're going to do it to our sentiment. I saved the sentiment for that. All right, so we're going to bring the black Memento and we're going to put some lines on our white notebook paper. So black Memento, my favorite black ink ever. We'll just ink up our stamp and stamp it right down. I'm gonna kind of hover my head over, and hopefully we get these in a decent place. Very good. Isn't that cute? Look at that. We made a piece of notebook paper. I love that. I love that. That's so cute. Cutie, 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 cutie. All right. Put our block away. And then let's focus on, let's make all of the components and then we can kind of see how we want to lay this out. So here is I don't know that this is exactly called an oval punch, but this is the punch we're going to be using. And I do need a piece of the, I'm not sure. Let's make one of each. I'm not sure if I want it to be Lost Lagoon or Blackberry Bliss. Both colors would be okay. But we're going to kind of put our sentiment down here towards the bottom. And I'm just not sure whether I want the lighter color or the darker color. If we use Lost Lagoon, we can stamp the sentiment right on top of the color. So we could use black Memento. Maybe the Blackberry Bliss. Okay. And then let's bring back in that scrap piece of white. We're going to do a little bit of stamping. So our sentiment is going to go over this one. But I'm going to bring in for my focal point. You can use any stamp set that you have. So if you want a flower, we could even maybe fussy cut. That's a possibility. Let's see how easy these are to fussy cut. We could even grab one of the flowers from here and fussy cut it. Let's see if that's too much fussy cutting. Oh, I don't know. I said that. I seen it and I can't unsee it. So let's do, I think we're going to fussy cut that. Let's grab my glasses here. I'll need those for fussy cutting. There's a few intricate turns there. And then we have two different color flowers that we can choose from. I think we'll stick with the Blackberry Bliss because that's kind of the color theme that we have going. So I'm just gonna grab this flower. There's a little leaf here. Are you a fussy cutter? Do you like fussy cutting? We had this conversation yesterday I did with my friends. I don't mind fussy cutting. I am starting to junk journal, and actually I've been doing it for a few months now. I haven't actually put together my first journal because there are so many components that you can use to make it look really cool. And so all of those little elements are the things that I've been working on. One of the things that you can use, so we're just going to fussy cut this flower out, and I'm chatting while we're doing so. But one of the components that you can use is called collage fodder. And collage fodder, for those of you that don't know, it is like doodling on scrapbook paper or magazines or things that you would recycle but have color. So I do it on magazine covers a lot, or not covers, just anywhere, even the pages. I look for colorful prints within the magazine, and then I'll just doodle with a black Sharpie on them, and then I sit in front of the TV. Like today would be a good day for it. It's kind of overcast and a little rainy or misty here in Michigan, in the Midwest where I'm at. So this would be a nice day to do laundry, and in between time, just sit at the table and fussy cut. I don't mind it. So, you know, the collage fodder, after you've doodled whatever it is, flowers and mushrooms are my favorite. So I doodle those a lot. And then you just cut them out. So kind of like we're doing now. The only thing is we didn't have to draw the flower that we're using here. We didn't have to draw it. We snuck it right out of the designer series paper, which is nice because then I get all of the gradient or variety, if you will, of colors without having to do that part of the work. So that's nice. Okay, so we're almost done here. Anyways, yeah, so I find it kind of soothing, and when you have your final product, to me it's gratifying. And actually there may be dies that go along with this paper. When new product becomes available, I normally go for the paper, and I get most of them, whether or not I get the bundle that they go along with. So I could actually have it on my shelf. I don't know. So you may not have to fussy cut this, but look at that. Isn't that cute? And we get the matchy-matchy. One of my favorite things about Stampin' Up! Is the matchy-matchy. So can you see that? That is gorgeous. And we haven't done a lot of work. Am I right? All right, so the last thing that we have to do, and we'll do it shortly here, is we're going to stamp our sentiment. I think we're going to do it on white. We'll stamp it with the, probably the black Memento. Add our little accents, and we're done. I told you this was going to be a cute and quick card. I am loving that. Just a note, I see why it's so popular. All right, so I kind of know how I'm going to layer these. They're just kind of askew. And our heart paper clip, let's see. Do we want it that way, or do we want it this way? Our heart paper clip, we're going to just stick to the top somewhere. And actually, to be honest, it would probably be better on this side. I have to figure out whether we're going to clip it at the top or the bottom. Let's put that one down. Do you guys use these kind of paper clips? I feel like there's only one way it can go. That may or may not be true. But because of all of the little, all right, I guess we could go on this side with it. All right, while we have it, I'm just gonna go ahead and put a little dot of adhesive. And I'm on the fence too, because I want the, I feel like if you were using it as a real clip, you would clip it that way, but I want to see that heart. I want to see that heart. So I'm just going to kind of glue it down like that. There we go. Phew, that was painful, right? I couldn't decide where I wanted it. I wanted it on this side, but it's not going to work because of the perforation. And so it's okay. We can maybe put the sentiment on the other side. We need good balance, and I wanted the sentiment on that side, but we can move it over. It will work, and that way we have some balance there. That's important. We don't want everything on one side, because then your card will look kind of weird. All right, let's go ahead and commit to this, and we'll glue these pieces down. So I'm going to put the Lost Lagoon notebook paper on first. We have that as kind of a background. Then we'll follow it up with the basic white one that we used. We stamped the lines on it with black Memento ink. And it is very cute, very cute. Do we want this up or down? I think we want it down. I like that Lost Lagoon showing. It's a nice little shadow there. Ooh, love it, love it, love it. Okay. And then let's put the, let's go ahead and put our fussy cut on flat. We're going to put it right on that oval, kind of right in the center. And I'm glad we went with that. That fits on there perfectly. You see that? And then let's grab some, no, let's make it flat. We'll make our sentiment dimensional. So we'll put this down flat as well. There we go. All right, let's stamp our sentiment. And actually, let's bring back in the, we have our paper clips too. We have to decide if we're using those. Let's bring in the Stampin' trimmer. I'm gonna cut the map for the inside of the card first, and then we'll use the scrap portion of it for the sentiment. So this needs to be 5 1/4 by 4. That's gonna make a nice map for the inside of the card. That little paper has me. I love it. So we could have made this 5 1/4 by 4 or 3 3/4 by 5. Did we make it right? Yeah. And we'll go ahead and adhere that down on the inside. And then we have a perfect little scrap piece for our sentiment. So let's go ahead and add some adhesive for the inside. And I'm not going to put a sentiment in, which is my usual. I like to leave it blank, so there can be some versatility. Oh my gosh, guys, look at this. What do you think about that color? The colors together are phenomenal. I love them. All right, so let's decide if we're going to use the paper clips. And then the final thing is our sentiment. And we are all done. That paper clip is so darn cute. Ooh, I wonder if that is too much. I wonder if it's too much. Do you guys think it's too much? Let me know if you think it's too much. The paper clips are pretty cute though. They are pretty cute, I have to say. I think we'll go ahead and with the top one, and we'll save that one for the other card. Okay, so I have to decide how I'm gonna adhere this. Maybe I won't for now. I'll put a little dollop of liquid glue right under. Maybe we will. Uh-oh. Well, that's spilling out. I'll just swipe it in the cap there. Boy, I'm gonna grab my take your pick tool and just grab a little dot of green glue, and I'm just gonna rub it on the bottom of the paper clip there. This is making a huge mess. It's like a volcano. I opened the top and it came running out. Let's use that diaper wipe. Keep my fingers clean. And then I'll just tap that right down. Oh gosh, it was still quite a bit of glue. It's okay though. It will dry clear, so we won't see it. We won't see it. It's not as important. All right, so we'll give it a second to dry too. Let's go ahead and bring in the black Memento. I was going to show you, if you haven't done this before, when you get your cling stamps, they come on a sheet like this. There's foam and there's a backing, and we're going to use that just a note. So it's kind of cut out, and you just have to punch it out or pull it out. And then it comes with a sheet. So the sheet is where you get the guide that goes on the back side. So I'm just going to take this. This is the Just a Note sentiment that we want to use. And then on this sheet, so there's a Stampin' Up logo on there too. On the sheet, you just find the sentiment. Can you see it? It's there. So you grab the sentiment that you want. And can you see how the backing is in two pieces, kind of sliced down the middle? And you don't want to touch that backing if you can help it at all. It is very sticky. And the other thing that you're going to want to do is make sure that when you put it down, you align it as close to perfect as possible, because there is, like I said, a foam backing on here. Once you stick this to your guide, it's not going to come up without ripping the foam, and you don't want that to happen. So I got the cutout shape already here. I'll show you what I mean. Can you see? Can you see how they're the same? So you kind of know. And I'm going to start from one side, just on the tip, and I'm just lining it up, and I'm moving towards the other side very slowly, so I can kind of guide the stamp into place. And then we'll pull it right off. It's ready for our block. So easy peasy. The main thing is that you're just not going to want to stick it down before you're ready or quickly, so that it's, you know, it's not aligned, because then you'll have problems. You can't pull it back up once you stick it down. All right, so let's go ahead and stamp that sentiment. We're just going to stamp it on our piece of scrap of basic white that we have, and I'm gonna trim it. I'm gonna trim it down. Oh boy, I pushed a little bit too hard, so let's do it on this side. I pushed too hard. I'll show you in a second what happened. So let's not push too hard. There we go. Perfect. So can you see here where I pushed too hard and I got a little bit of extra there that I didn't want? And here's the one that's correct. And I'm just going to snip it down. Actually, before I do that, let's trim it. We can trim more easily with the larger or the longer piece. So I'm just going to take some of the excess off. I don't want it as fat as it is, and I'm using the grid lines here to determine where to cut it so that I didn't get it crooked. So that's nice to have all of those lines there. And then let's see, we're just going to, let's cut it down. We may be able to pop this right over the flower. All right, I'm gonna leave a little bit, and just let's see, this is about 2 1/4 of an inch. So it's about 2 1/4 of an inch, and I could let it overhang like this, and we could give it a little gem. Yeah, let's do that. All right, I am going to grab a Stampin' Dimensional, a large one, and I'm gonna pop one on either end of our sentiment. And I'm going to use that Take Your Pick tool again to peel off the backing. Uh-oh. Got an extra dimensional there. And I'm just going to pop this up so that it's kind of overhanging the flower. It's kind of half on, half off. Let's make sure that's straight. Okay, I think it's straight. And then we're just gonna pop a little jewel here. So we have a lot of deep color and busy. I know right now that I'm just gonna use a rhinestone. It would be nice though if we had Lost Lagoon or a Pretty Peacock. That would be nice. let's see. Pull in my little box. I just want a rhinestone. Let's find some rhinestones. Boy, I have a bunch of older gems that would look really good on there. Oh, here we go. This one's not in the pack even. Oh boy. Let's see if we can stick that right down. Yes, yes, yes. We could even add a couple. Do we want to add a couple? Let's add a couple. We have them out. Let's let it go out with a bang. we'll let our card go out with a bang. It's super cute. Super cute. All right. There we are. Here is our finished card. Let's bring it down so you can see it. We didn't do anything to the inside, so no stamps on the inside, which is something that I do like to do. Isn't this the cutest? The colors are really nice. I love them. The Blackberry Bliss and the Lost Lagoon, they are working. And aren't those little embellishments the cutest? So you're making them. The paper clip, that looks like a real paper clip, doesn't it? Isn't that phenomenal? I can't get over that. All right, so that is my share today. Let's go ahead and do a recap of the products that we used, because if you want to make this card or something similar, you could use it for memory keeping, especially if you do a smaller book and maybe pocket style memory keeping. Those little paper clips in that are super cute for that. So the name of the bundle that we use today is Just a Note. It is a Stampin' Die bundle, so that's where we got all of those cute little clips. Remember, we got the paper from there too, that note paper. So there's that note paper, paper clips, a heart-shaped clip, binder clip, clipboard clip, and then some little shapes, banner flags. So cute. Just a Note, that's what that's called. And then if you love that designer series paper, let me grab that and bring it back in. That's where we got that flower from. I fussy cut it. I had a different plan in mind when we started the card, but I saw that and I rolled with it. So very beautiful paper here. This is 12 by 12. It's Floral Charm is what it's called. And there are different colors in there too. Some peach pie, it looks like some Calypso Coral, fresh freesia. Well, let's see. Stampin' Up tells us what's in there. So, oh, it's Timid Tiger, Berry Burst, Blackberry Bliss, Mossy Meadow, Night of Navy, and Pretty Peacock. They didn't tell us those corals. They're there. They are there. You see them? They're there. But anyways, very nice paper pack, if you love that as well. And then I am so not sure of the actual name for this. I'm calling it an oval. I'm sure that's not what it is, but we did use this punch as well. It's where we got our background for that focal point that we used there. And then we just used some rhinestone jewels, so that's everything we used. Okay, well, thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me in my craft room. Thanks for spending time with me. Don't forget, if you like what we shared, you like the products, you want to take a closer look, there will be a link in the description above. There will be some links there. If you missed the live portion of this on Facebook, you can rewatch it. It will be here on Facebook, and it will also be over on my YouTube channel. There's a link there will be a link above for my YouTube channel, so there's that as well. Don't forget to give a thumbs up, heart. Say hi to me in the comments. I love that. Any kind of engagement. I'm trying to grow my channel just by viewership so that I can share with more people. So your reaction or comment helps a lot. So I appreciate that too. And more than anything, I just appreciate you allowing me to share with you. So thank you. I hope the rest of your weekend is fantastic. If you are a football fan, have good football today, and have a great weekend. I will see you next weekend. We will be back on Saturday next weekend, around the same time. So have a fabulous weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye, everyone.